The clock ticks mercilessly as it strikes 3 a.m., dragging you from a restless sleep into a world filled with anxiety. There's an unsettling silence in your home, pierced only by the rhythmic thumping of your heart against your ribcage. This isn't the euphoric freedom of midnight revelry. This is the suffocating grip of financial fear. You blink into the darkness, the shadows of your room mirroring the shadows of your life choices, looming large and unforgiving. An uncomfortable realization washes over you. Retirement is approaching faster than you ever imagined, and that number in your 401k account doesn't come close to offering you the comfort you so desperately need. Every late-night decision haunts you, those seemingly innocent choices that snowballed into life-altering mistakes. You delve back into the conversations you had with your friends, the harmless banter that turned sour, the laughter, the jokes. It all feels so distant now. Remember that one time you bragged about buying that shiny new car on credit? The thrill of driving it off the lot quickly dulled under the harsh realization that its value was plummeting while your debts were soaring. You used to parade your credit card points as a trophy of financial prowess, yet now the crippling interest rates feel more like shackles than rewards. Now, all you feel is humiliation. You've fallen victim to the hidden leaks that have drained your financial reservoir. The polished veneers of social media feed into your anxiety, showcasing others' seemingly perfect lives. You tell yourself they must be faring so much better, on faraway vacations, in trendy homes, while you lay here, battling the silence that feels more like a looming sentence than a mere companion. And that's where most people get it wrong. They equate appearances with reality. Beneath those curated posts lie untold stories of struggle, debt, and sleepless nights. Much like yours, you toss and turn, grappling not just with your circumstances but with the shame that accompanies them. The fleeting sounds of people in your life echo around you. Your partner's worried sigh, the judgment-laden silence from your children when they ask if you'll be able to help with college tuition, or the pained glance from a friend as they realize you can't join them on their extravagant holiday getaway. You feel it, the piercing gaze of societal expectations. What's worse, your financial fate is tied to this secret. Your 401k, while supposed to be a vessel of hope for your future, has become a ticking time bomb. Every time you receive a notification for an impending decline on your card, it's like an icy dagger to the heart. That blistering sound, the sharp beeping of your card being declined at the store, reverberates in your mind. You stand there, engulfed by a dissipating sense of self-worth, feeling exposed before the cashier, before the world. In that moment, every rational thought you've ever had means nothing. It's not merely a transaction, it's a crystal-clear reflection of your inadequacies, your failures, your vulnerability. But what if this was preventable? What if you had the tools to plug those leaks? Imagine a life where you rise with a clear mind, unhindered by financial worry. Think about it. A life where your peace isn't periodically shattered by the suffocating reminders of poor choices. A hopeful existence free from the weight of debt and financial irresponsibility could be waiting for you in 2026. If you make the right moves now, it's time to kick shame and despair to the curb. Look around. Night after night, millions of others are wrestling with the same demons. You are not alone. In the shadows, financial struggles breed a sense of isolation, leaving you feeling like you're in a silent prison. You remember that article you read about people successfully paying off debt through sheer discipline and determination? They didn't ascend to that financial serenity by mere luck. They redefined their relationship with money, made choices that others deemed sacrifices, and most importantly, they held themselves accountable. But deep down, something must change. This is a call to arms, an invitation to take back control. So if you identify with this crushing weight, the late-night battles, the dread that keeps you awake, subscribe now. This isn't just about followers. This is a beckoning for dignity lost. The changes you need, the wisdom that can guide you through, is right here waiting. No longer will you allow societal pressures or fear dictate your life. The time has come to reclaim your future, to resurrect your narrative from the ashes of financial despair. You can move forward toward freedom, a liberation rooted in action. Look the silent judgment of yourself square in the eye and say, "No more." You can craft a blueprint that will guide you out of this nightmare and back into a realm of financial dignity. Your journey toward empowerment starts now. When you step into this new reality, you'll not only change the course of your own life, you'll set an example for others. proving that it is indeed possible to transform desperation into dignity and chaos into clarity. In the throes of your financial struggle, it's tempting to think of Warren Buffett as just another billionaire, another name tossed around in conversations of wealth and success. But let's pause for a moment. Underneath the layers of his impressive net worth lies something far more valuable: the wisdom of a grandfather saver. This is a man whose very essence embodies patience and simplicity, an antidote to the chaotic society that constantly bombards you with urgency and fear. Buffett teaches us that wealth isn't built in a whirlwind of high-stakes gambles or flashy investments. Rather, it's constructed through slow, steady, and deliberate decisions. The harsh reality is that in your relentless pursuit of keeping up with the Joneses or maintaining an image of affluence, you've been sprinting down a road paved with debt. You may think you're playing the game, but if you've been dipping into your savings to fund your lifestyle, a lifestyle that keeps you up at night, then you, my friend, are losing. But what he said about debt changed everything for me. Buffett, in his signature folksy manner, often emphasizes this profound notion. The first rule of investing is not to lose money, and the second rule is not to forget the first rule. It seems so simple, yet here you are, striving to make ends meet, layered under the weight of credit card bills and financial obligations that seem to multiply overnight. You're trading away your freedom, turning your hard-earned cash into chains that bind you, all in the name of maintaining an unsustainable facade of success. Now, let's turn our gaze inward for a moment. What does your financial landscape look like? Supported by the weight of credit cards, personal loans, and those monthly payments that gnaw away at your peace, how did it come to this? You wake up every morning feeling as though you're trapped in a rat race. And it's not just you. Countless others are racing in this futile cycle, believing that they must adorn themselves in the robes of consumerism to feel worthy. But that's a lie, a mirage that becomes increasingly clearer until it shatters and leaves you exposed, vulnerable to the winds of uncertainty. You see, Buffett's simple approach stands in stark contrast to the chaotic life we often lead. His mantra often echoes a sentiment many of us know well: living within your means is where true abundance starts. And that's where most people get it wrong. They opt for short-term pleasures while ignoring the long-term repercussions. Applying his principles might seem like a daunting task, but simply remembering that your value doesn't come from the things you own can pave the way to a much brighter financial future. This, my dear listener, is a call to arms, to transform your inner chaos into calm certainty, grounded in the wisdom that has cemented Buffett's legacy. There's a hidden leak in your financial planning, the assumption that debt equates to progress. The numbers on your credit card statements may give the illusion of freedom, but they only serve to imprison you further. What if you took a page out of Buffett's playbook? Imagine waking each day without the suffocating weight of debt, equipped with the knowledge that you're investing in your future with every small, intelligent choice you make. Investing isn't exclusively tied up in the stock market. It begins with investing in yourself and your financial health. And that means confronting uncomfortable truths. The fact that life won't wait for you to pay off your obligations before rewarding you. While you sleep, that interest compounds, eroding the very foundation of your future. But every step forward offers an opportunity to rewrite your financial narrative. The golden rules of simplicity and patience are what you need to become the architect of your financial freedom. Here's the truth. It's going to take time, discipline, and a severe overhaul of your relationship with money. A shift from chaotic spending to mindful investment will align your values with your actions and place you firmly on the path toward financial dignity. Now, let's bring it closer to home. Have you ever asked yourself how you feel when you glance at your bank account balance, or when you open your mail and dread seeing the latest bill? These feelings are not just coincidental. They are echoes of your current reality and can serve as powerful motivators for action. Recognizing this discomfort is the first step in taking back control. Yet, with every crisis comes clarity. This financial reckoning can galvanize you into action. Think about the possibilities. Setting a budget grounded in your needs, creating a savings plan instead of a spending spree, and most importantly, seeing your wealth not as a number, but as the cherished freedom it should represent. Remember, you're not alone in this battle. Together, we'll break the cycle of despair that has trapped you. Now is the time to redefine your financial identity. Warren Buffett is giving you the blueprint with his decades of wisdom, encapsulated in the principles of simplicity and responsibility. Embrace that guidance, for it could be the beacon that lights your way home. So take a moment and ask yourself, are you ready to relinquish the debt-induced chaos for a life marked by Buffett's principles? We'll navigate these treacherous waters together, so stay with me, because it's time to reclaim your dignity and shape your future with intent and purpose. This is your chance to script a new narrative, a narrative that speaks of freedom, empowerment, and the joy that comes from wise financial stewardship. Let's move forward, grounded in patience as we inch closer to a more secure tomorrow. The cold, hard truth of your financial reality is like a winter chill settling into your bones. Brace yourself, because it's time to dissect the pillars of your predicament. You see, most people fail, not due to ignorance, but from an unwillingness to confront the math of debt, the social status trap, and the insidious creep of lifestyle inflation. You may think you're on the right path, but let's be honest. You're spiraling, and it's high time to face it. Let's break this down. First, what does the math of debt truly look like? It's not just a number. It's a reflection of your financial habits, your choices, and the pressure you've allowed to dictate your life. Credit cards, personal loans, and seemingly harmless monthly payments have become part of your everyday rhythm. You might think that paying the minimum is an acceptable approach to managing your wealth, but let me dispense this bitter pill. It's a dangerous trap, and that's where most people get it wrong. They intuitively believe that the burden of debt is manageable as long as they can keep up with the payments. But think deeper. The reality is that the accumulation of interest on loans compounds faster than you can blink. What seems like a few extra dollars each month quickly morphs into a mountain of debt that suffocates your future. You're not just borrowing money. You're borrowing chains that will imprison you when you should be soaring toward financial freedom. It's a slippery slope, one that takes away your sense of dignity and autonomy. The hidden fees, the rising interest rates, and those pesky annual percentage rates are not just isolated figures on a statement. They represent a siphoning off of your hard-earned wealth, leaving you vulnerable and filled with shame. Every swipe, every purchase made without thought, settles heavy in your stomach. This isn't merely about managing your financial obligations. It's about reclaiming your identity from the clutches of financial indecision. But let's pivot for a moment and address the social status trap. You often seek validation through the lens of others, wearing the latest brand or taking the grand vacation, believing that these outward symbols of wealth will somehow validate your worth. Yet, what you fail to recognize is that those images on social media are carefully curated fantasies. The posts you indulge in during sleepless nights present a mirage of personal triumph, but underneath those dazzling smiles lies the same financial strife you're entangled in. The silent reckonings, the echoed prayers for relief. This anxiety respects no borders. We are all trapped in the same vicious cycle of wanting what we can't afford, thinking that applying a coat of gloss is enough to mask the growing debts beneath. It's time to stop the comparison game, dear listener. That envy you feel toward friends on luxurious vacations or in shiny new cars is a mirage that will only lead you further into despair. No one is coming to save you from this misperception but yourself. And that leads us to the insidious phenomenon known as lifestyle creep. It creeps in like a thief in the night, whispering sweet nothings of indulgence and comfort, all the while promising a facade of happiness and success. When you receive a raise or a bonus, it's all too easy to justify an upgrade to a flashier car, an extravagant dinner, or a bigger house. You convince yourself that these choices are valid, that they reflect your hard work. But here's the harsh reality. With each little upgrade, you strangle your capacity for saving and investing, blurring the very line between what is wanted versus what is needed. Every choice you make in this realm has an impact. Perhaps it feels gratifying in the moment. That momentary high of purchasing something new is a counterfeit of true happiness. You plunge further into the illusion of affluence while the clock ticks impatiently toward your retirement, taking a significant toll on your accounts. So, let's be frank. Nobody is going to sweep in and rescue you from your financial burden. There's no fairy godmother waiting to wave a wand and alleviate the weight of debt from your shoulders. It's on you to rectify this trajectory before it's too late. The misconception that someone will offer you a lifeline or swoop in to rectify your circumstances will only lead to enduring disappointment. You must recognize that the power to change your life resides in your hands, and it's a heavy but necessary responsibility. The truth is sobering. The wealth you're struggling to build, Those dreams of retirement and the comfortable life you fantasize about are being dismantled day by day because of choices made in the heat of the moment. It's time you confronted your reality. What you perceive as a safety net, your credit cards or reliance on loans, has evolved into an invisible net designed to capture you. Now, I want you to visualize your current standing. As you look at your financial landscape, feel the dense fog of reality roll in. Your credit card bill stacked higher than your ambitions, your savings account marked with despair, and the looming threat of, "What if I can't retire?" Let that dread ignite a flame of determination within you. You have to confront these demons. Write in the comments which city or country you are watching from. We are building an armor, a collective force of individuals determined to reclaim their dignity and wages. Let's bond over this shared concern and defeat the demons together. Draw strength from each other, for this isn't merely your battle. This is a global uprising against the chains of financial ignorance. So, I leave you with this. You are not alone in this fight against the invisible forces that conspire to keep you in a cycle of poverty and confusion. It's time to engage with the brutal realities, to dissect them, and emerge triumphant. It may not be an easy journey, but it will be a deserving one. Regain the control over your financial landscape before the dawn of 2026 arrives, and with it, the irreversible alterations to your future. Embrace the challenge, and remember, liberation comes only through facing the truths you've long evaded. In the shadow of your financial struggles, it's time to rise and reclaim your future. Now that you've confronted the brutal reality of your situation, it's crucial to establish the battle plan, your roadmap to financial dignity and freedom. Let's break down the non-negotiable pillars that will fortify your financial foundation, dismantle the chains of debt, and most importantly, guide you away from the looming specter of retirement struggles in 2026. 1. The Dignity Fund, your emergency shield. And that's where most people get it wrong. They treat savings as an afterthought rather than a necessity. The Dignity Fund is your first line of defense, a dedicated savings account that safeguards you against unexpected expenses and financial shocks. This is not just a savings fund. This is your ticket out of the crippling cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Start by opening a separate savings account. This account should be untouchable. No debit card, no checks, nothing that could lead you to dip into this fund. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. I know that may feel daunting, but consider this. Every dollar you allocate here is a step towards your freedom, a quarantine of your cash from the remains of financial chaos. Forget being tempted to spend it. You need a battle frame to work within. Commit to setting aside a portion of every paycheck, 10% if you can swing it, until you hit your target. No excuses. 2. The No Debt Pact, the shackle breaker. This pillar requires a mindset overhaul. It's time to cut the cord with consumer debt and eliminate the toxic influence it has on your life. The No Debt Pact isn't just a suggestion, it's an ironclad commitment. Begin by taking a fearless inventory of your debts. Write down every credit card, personal loan, and outstanding balance. Another bitter pill to swallow. But knowledge is power. You cannot defeat what you do not understand. Next, prioritize these debts. Identify the highest interest rates and tackle those first. That means focusing your resources on paying them off while making minimum payments on the others. Now comes the hard part, cutting the cards. Yes, you heard me. Take those credit cards and freeze them in ice, physically or metaphorically. You're done using borrowed money to fund your lifestyle. Moving forward, rely solely on cash or debit for purchases, training yourself to live within your means. This is tough love. There will be moments of temptation, but every moment of restraint builds the muscle you need to reclaim your financial dignity. 3. The compound interest rule, your growth engine. And here's where the magic really begins. The compound interest rule is your secret weapon in wealth accumulation. While many fear this principle, it can work to your advantage if you're diligent. The earlier you start investing, the larger your wealth can grow. Start by contributing to your 401k or an IRA account if you haven't already. I implore you, take advantage of employer matches. This is free money. If your employer offers a match of up to 5%, make sure you're investing at least that amount. Don't leave money on the table. Your future self will thank you for the discipline you practice today. If you're behind on savings, any extra cash flow should be redirected to these accounts. Even small contributions add up. Picture this. By investing just $100 a month, you could accumulate over $100,000 in 30 years at a modest 7% return. It's not just numbers. It's freedom, dignity, and peace of mind rolling into one beautiful future. 4. The mindset shift. Your internal resistance. You see, it's not just about numbers and plans. It's about mindset. The final pillar of this battle plan is a crucial one: transforming your relationship with money. This shift is foundational. It's what will carry you through the boredom of frugality and the scrutiny of social pressures. Stay away from social media traps. Remember, the images you see aren't the reality of financial wellness. Most carry burdens just as heavy as yours. Start following thought leaders and financial educators who align with your goals. Moreover, engage your family in this mission. Share your commitment to financial health with them. This should be a united front. They need to be on board to support your lifestyle changes. Family trips might mean simpler vacations until the debts are cleared. And yes, you may face resistance, but that's part of the journey. You cannot be master of your fate while allowing others to define your financial path. By fortifying these pillars in your life, you create a watertight strategy against the hidden leaks that threaten your retirement. Remember, it requires consistency and tenacity. Each step you take will demand sacrifice, but the end goal, a life marked by freedom instead of fear, is worth every mile of the hard road ahead. So, reflect and consider. Are you ready to establish your dignity fund and pledge to the no debt pact? Are your savings and investments aligned with the compound interest rule? The fight for your financial future is upon you, and the time to act is now. The stakes are high, and your peace of mind in 2026 is riding on these pivotal choices. Embrace this battle. Your dignity is worth the fight. Imagine stepping into your front yard, the gentle warmth of the sun wrapping around you like an embrace. You're sipping your morning coffee, and the aroma fills you with a profound sense of peace. It's 2026, and the feeling you once thought was a distant memory, a blissful existence free from financial dread, has returned. The anxious nights are gone, replaced by a calm confidence in your financial choices. You've fought hard to reshape your reality, but the battle is not over yet. You see, after establishing your dignity fund, committing to the no debt pact, and beginning to wield the power of compound interest, you now find yourself at a critical juncture. The mental pivot. This moment is as crucial as any number on your balance sheet, as it prepares you to navigate the inevitable roadblocks, both external and internal. And that's where most people get it wrong. They assume that financial success is purely about numbers and strategies, neglecting the mindset shifts necessary to sustain their victories. You need armor against relapse, my friend. The danger lies not in the absence of a plan, but in the failure to protect that plan from the world around you. Let's face it, jealousy can rear its ugly head when you make significant changes. Your thriving financial health may provoke envy among neighbors who have succumbed to the glitz and glam of consumerism, the shiny new toys, the lavish vacations plastered across social media feeds. You might hear whispers, "How can you afford to stay in? Why don't you come on the cruise with us?" tempting you to throw caution to the wind. But let me remind you, friends, you are in a different game now. A game that prizes dignity over debt. Existence in a community filled with competition can feel like walking through a minefield. Their remarks about your frugality may sting, but you have to stand firm. Resist the deep-seated urge to succumb to their pressure, and don't let their financial indecision dictate your life choices. Remember, you're trading in short-lived thrills for long-term wealth, an investment measured not just in dollars, but in the peace you cultivate within. Now, how do you maintain this fortress? First, you must establish clear boundaries, both for yourself and with others. When anyone presses you to step outside your financial vision, hold your ground with gentle but resolute confidence. Share your objectives. Disclose the reasons for your choices, not with shame, but with pride. Communicate your goals to your loved ones. Make them stakeholders in your journey, colleagues joining you in a quest for better financial futures. In doing so, you'll notice the atmosphere around you change. Their respect for your commitment can galvanize a unified front, creating a circle of accountability. Opposing envy with your own friendly transparency can diffuse their jealousy. They may even look to you for guidance on similar pilgrimages toward financial dignity. And let us not overlook the internal landscape. The echoes of external pressures can be relentless, causing you to question your choices during those sleepless nights when doubts creep in, like unwanted guests. The clarity you held during daylight may fade beneath the weight of uncertainty as you listen to the whispers of, "What if?" This is your call to arms. When those moments of weakness find you, bring your vision of 2026 to the forefront of your mind. Picture yourself in that serene front yard, sipping coffee, surrounded by friends and family who have embraced your path toward sustainability. The laughter ringing in the air is free from the heavy burden of debt, the camaraderie enriched by shared stories of restraint, resilience, and victory over financial despair. Your future peace is tethered to the quality of your financial choices today. Imagine the satisfaction of walking into a store and confidently declining that shiny new gadget that tempts you. Instead of feeling like an outsider, you're secure in your decisions, drawing strength from the knowledge that your actions are aligned with your goals, building a dignified future. Now I want you to recall your vision of 2026. Solidify it with taste and texture. Feel the grass beneath your feet. Hear the laughter of loved ones. Sense the freedom that comes without the pang of financial anxiety. Heavy debts remain in the rearview mirror as you confidently navigate life's beautiful complexities unencumbered. This clear picture crystallizes your resolve in facing social pressures. And here's the secret. When envy arises, channel it into motivation. Be the example of what's possible, transforming negative emotions into inspirations for not just you, but those around you. Share your story, the victories, the challenges, and the trials, transforming your journey into a beacon of hope. Yet, it's essential to hold space for vulnerability. Therein lies true strength. Each time you resist temptation, you are rewriting the narrative, a narrative that speaks of triumph rooted in discipline. Mark your achievements, however small, because they warrant celebration. As you continue on this path, document your progress, celebrate the milestones, acknowledge the work invested in securing your tomorrow. And that's where true empowerment lies. When you face setbacks, embrace persistence as your faithful ally. Remember the mantra, you are not defined by your past mistakes. You can shape your future with your choices. Your journey is not a defined endpoint. Rather, it's an ongoing evolution. As you pivot mentally from insecurity to confident assurance, you are not only preparing for today's turbulence, you are laying down the groundwork for an extraordinary tomorrow. In 2026, you will not just be debt-free. You will be living a life of purpose, energy, and abundance. So, empower yourself with knowledge. Remember that financial dignity is cemented not only through the absence of debt, but by building a mindset of growth, responsibility, and community. Embrace your complex emotions. Let them guide you, rather than rule you. You have the tools and the knowledge to protect the peace you've worked so hard to reclaim. Will you continue to nurture this journey? It's not merely a battle for financial wellness. It's a quest for dignity, clarity, and fulfillment. With firm resolve and a clear vision, you can pivot in your mind, fortifying your future against the ghosts of certain influences. The road to 2026 is paved by your decisions made today. Let's move forward, knowing that this journey, rooted in resilience, is the key to unlocking the debt-free future you so fervently seek. As we reach the final chapter of this deep dive, I ask you to pause for a moment and breathe. Reflect on the messages we've uncovered together, the stark realities, the transformative strategies, and the fierce commitment required to claw back your financial dignity. This moment is not merely the end of a presentation. It is a call to arms, an urgent plea to recognize that the power to shape your future has always rested in your hands. Driving home the message that our time together is nearing its tapering close, let me be clear, the stakes could not be higher. You stand at a precipice, and the decisions you make from this moment forward will echo through the corridors of your life. There are no second chances in addressing the hidden leak that threatens to ruin your retirement in 2026. This is your moment of truth, a moment where you must confront the heavy tapestry woven from past choices, financial missteps, and expectations from society at large. And that's where most people get it wrong. They offer gratitude at the ending, but forget the impact of what has transpired. You have shared this time with me, sacrificing precious moments of your day. Your time is your most valuable asset, and for that, I express my deep respect and gratitude. You have ventured into the heart of your fears, peering into the shadows of financial ignorance with the courage needed to pursue redemption. I commend you for that bravery. You see, humility is woven into the fabric of financial freedom. The road ahead is not going to be simplistic, nor will it mirror the glossy advertisements that plaster your feeds. The journey will demand sacrifice and discipline, but remember, your future self depends on the choices you make today. Will you choose comfort in the moment, or the fiery drive required to achieve long-term stability? This nagging question looms before you as the world around you continues spinning in its chaotic dance. But as you contemplate your next steps, lean in closely and hear this. Fear is a thief. It sneaks into your heart, whispering doubts and deterring you from seizing transformational opportunities. It will urge you to procrastinate, to wait for a better moment, to push off tough conversations about your finances until tomorrow, believing it will cease to matter. But let this serve as a reminder. Tomorrow is an illusion, a mirage that is easy to chase, but impossibly hard to catch. The esteemed Warren Buffett once said, "Somebody once said that in looking for people to hire, you look for 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy. And if they don't have the first, the other 2 will kill you." The first quality, integrity, resonates in your quest for financial dignity. It requires honesty with yourself, a willingness to look in the mirror and commit to facing the hidden leaks, those misguided assumptions, harmful habits, and reckless spending patterns that have ensnared you in their web. Now, in this quiet moment of reflection, I urge you to hold on to that integrity. Resist the temptation to drown in the noise of societal expectations or comparisons to others. Instead, channel that focused energy into crafting a new narrative, a story where you emerge as the hero of your financial destiny. Believe me when I say, each day that you choose to invest in yourself, you are stitching together the patches that will potentialize your life biblically, replete with dignity, freedom, and resilience. Each effort, however minute, builds upon the last, compounding your progress like interest, creating a robust tapestry reflecting strength and determination. But listen closely. This is not just about numbers, it's about your legacy. The financial decisions you make today will not only determine your peace of mind, they will ripple through generations to come. Your children, your grandchildren, they all stand to inherit not just the fruits of your labor, but the lessons embedded in your actions. What do you want them to see? A life mired in debt and stress? Or a life lived fully, where financial choices are rooted in wisdom and personal values? As you contemplate this pivotal ultimatum, remember, it's not merely about accumulating wealth. It's about empowering yourself and those around you. Choose to let your journey become the foundation for a life defined by choices that echo through time. Embrace the rhythm of patience and resilience. In these final moments, I urge you to evaluate your strategies. What steps will you take to plug those destructive leaks? Will you uphold the pillar of the Dignity Fund? Commit to the No Debt Pact? Begin harnessing the power of the compound interest rule? The answer lies within you, a flicker of hope that, when tended to, can erupt into a flame of financial enlightenment. As we near the close of this chapter, I leave you with this truth. The time to act is now. Today is not about fantasies of grandeur, but about grounding your actions in the reality of your financial framework. Understand this deeply. Your goals are achievable, but they will require commitment and an unwavering dedication to the path of integrity and discipline. I thank you for your time, your openness, and your willingness to engage in this conversation. You are now armed with the knowledge that can rewrite your financial narrative. Embrace it wholeheartedly, and remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Take heed of these words as you step into the unfolding of a new financial landscape. The journey towards your 2026 vision of freedom and dignity starts today, here, and now. Go forth with courage. The path may not be easy, but the rewards, the immense sense of peace, empowerment, and legacy are worth every ounce of effort. Fade to black, my friends. This is just the beginning.